We have been on the topic of safety. Jeff, I'm going to be honest with you, man. Like, I know what a trench box is. And our viewers know what a trench box is, and our users know what a trench box is. Not to skip over it, but let's go back to that. This isn't funny, but I'm glad you're here, guys. My name is Chris Work, and I'm with ProfitDig. I'm here this evening with Jeff Spencer. Check us out. Looking for a job bidding costing solution for the low price of $99 per month, unlimited projects, never lose your data. Check us out, ProfitDig.com. Welcome to the ProfitDig Construction Show. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, leave us some comments, let us know what you want to talk about. We have been on the topic of safety. Jeff, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, I know what a trench box is.
Right.
And our viewers know what a trench box is, and our users know what a trench box is. Not to skip over it, but let's go back to that. What is the chain and the sling, man? What is up with that?
Well, your chains, of course, you got to have devices to lift stuff with on site.
You're referring to the trench box.
No.
Okay.
Well, you can lift a trench box with it too, but you got to have, you either got to have like a cable sling, you got to have like a nylon sling, or you got to have 3/8, 5/8, half-inch chain, depending on how big the stuff you're lifting is.
Sure.
So you got to have those items on site, to be able to lift those items that you're going to be lifting.
Right.
Say it is a trench box. Most trench boxes are going to weigh somewhere around anywhere from 8 to 12,000 pounds. For a 20-footer, 8 foot by 20-footer. Depending on how big of spacers you have in them, how wide your trench is.
I didn't really think about that, but yeah. I mean, we're talking about preventing the earth from caving in on you.
So it's a pretty heavy device.
Yeah.
It's there's a lot of stipulations, on how to use a trench box. There again, based on soils, based on your OSHA requirements from state to state, because they all vary a little bit. Like here in Tennessee, we can have our trench boxes as much as 2 feet off the bottom of the trench.
Okay.
And then our top of bank has to be 18 inches below the top of the trench box.
Okay.
That way, if anything rolls down, it's going to hit the side of the trench box instead of rolling over in you.
Right.
Now you can also stack your trench boxes, and this is like moving your trench boxes. You got a chain there, and what we're talking about on safety on chains, or even on your trench boxes. Your trench boxes have to be stamped and dated. They have to have requirements on a tag showing what those requirements for that trench box are, what its limits and liabilities are.
Okay. And that has to be easily readable on the box.
If that tag
itself
gets knocked off or drug off, you've got to have that trench box recertified and then re-stamped.
Okay. All right.
Same thing with your chains. Your chains and slings, whether it be cable or nylon, they all got to go through the same thing. But when you pick them up, they got to be tested. They got to have a tag on your chain showing, the lift capacity, like what the tensile strength is, what's a breaking point.
Okay.
And so that's the max you can lift for that chain. Well, would it lift more? Yes, they'll lift more. But that's what you can lift safely.
Okay.
As far as what that chain's tagged for. And it's got a date on it. Your chains and stuff can be outdated.
Okay.
If your chains have burrs on them, or, if they've been, got a little spot that's bent here or there, or, maybe they've been drug across the asphalt a few times or concrete and they've rubbed links down here and there. If they inspect it, then you're in violation because that chain is no longer 100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there can I restore that guy to working order, or am I just?
If it's long enough, you can. I mean,
Okay.
But most of the time you take your hardware, you hook some stuff off and move them to a newer chain.
Yeah. Okay.
But something like
that.
But
the chain itself, that's just going to the house?
But
Just dragging something?
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
okay.
Or you can take it, and use it, for something that's not, to drag something with, whatever.
Well, sure. Yeah.
It's nothing you're going to be holding up or lifting overhead.
Yeah.
But, those things, and they're not cheap. I mean, for a 3/8 chain, like just say a 20-footer, you're looking at, $60, $80 to $100, you know, depending on
Yeah.
the strength of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They're not cheap.
And, you know, your trench boxes, you know, we talked about them a while ago. You know, you got a chain ready to lift it, you know, that's one thing. But when you start, say you leave your trench box in place, but when you set your trench box in, you got to backfill the sides some to hold it where it don't teeter-totter.
Mm-hmm.
So now you are friction bound. So a lot of times when you pick that thing up to move it, it may be 3 or 4 times heavier than what it was
When you set it
when you set in there, because you've backfilled it.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to drag it, you know, it's also heavier now to drag against the earth up to your next joint of pipe. You know, and just like, you know, your ladders, you've got to have ladders, you know, X amount of feet in your trench to where your workers have ingress and egress, you know, in a moment's notice. They got to be able to get out of that trench.
Right.
And so they need to know where the ladders are spaced at, you know, they need to know where they're at. So as you move everything, your guys have to come out, ladders come out, you move your trench box, then you reset. It's just like every time you lay one joint of pipe, you're pretty much resetting your trench box every time you do it. So it's also time consuming.
Time consuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We prefer to try to drag ours, you know, if we're in dirt. Shot rock, a lot of times it's hard. You'll end up, you know, causing yourself more trouble than you will anything trying to drag them.
Yeah. Either just come out and
Yeah.
reposition.
But, you know, those are just some things, if you're not aware of, you know, you need to know that. And then over the years, you know, I have paid a few fines for chains and stuff. And it's not that we were trying to hide anything. It's just, you know, they had a little damage here, a little damage there.
Yeah.
And
So just to,
yeah, one of them was like less than 2 weeks old. You know, we wasn't very old yet.
yeah. Yeah.
And,
So it's just,
So, you know, it's stuff like that can be costly and add up, you know, pretty quick. So,
yeah. No, but not a bad idea to stay on top of it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Know where you're at. So.
yep.
All right. Well, Jeff, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man.
Trench boxes, chains, and slings.
Mm-hmm.
And ProfitDig.com. The world's easiest to use job bidding and costing solution. It's only $99 a month. Contact us if you need a coupon. If you don't want to pay $99 a month to try it out, we'll hook you up. Jeff, appreciate it as always.
Most people probably spend more than that in Starbucks in a month.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, 2 weeks,
Yeah.
depending on what they get.
Right.
Yeah, are you getting a scone or just a plain coffee? I mean,
Exactly.
you add the two, it's up there. Check us out, guys. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, leave some comments, let us know what you want to talk about. And don't forget, ProfitDig.com. We'll see you soon.
Thank you all.
Later.